It was a rainy Monday morning when I decided to visit one of my stores, unannounced and undercover. I own a chain of retail stores, but I rarely get to see how things actually run. Most of my days are spent in meetings or on calls talking about numbers, strategies, and ways to grow the business. But deep down, I always felt a little disconnected from the real heart of it all, the people. So I had an idea. What if I just showed up as a regular customer? No fancy suit, no name badge. Just me wearing a hoodie, jeans, and a cap, blending in with the crowd. I wanted to see how my staff treated everyday customers, especially the ones who didn't look like they were there to spend a lot of money. The store I picked was one of my mid-sized locations, tucked inside a suburban shopping center. I parked my car a little farther away to avoid being noticed and walked in. The glass doors slid open with a soft whoosh, and the familiar scent of fresh stock and polished floors filled the air. I took a deep breath and started browsing the shelves, pretending to shop. My heart pounded, not just from nerves, but from curiosity. I didn't know what to expect, but I wanted to see the truth, raw and unfiltered. It didn't take long for a staff member to notice me. She looked about 25, and her name tag read Eleanor. The moment she saw me, her face changed. It wasn't warm or welcoming. It was guarded, almost dismissive. "Can I help you with something?" she asked, her tone flat and uninterested. I nodded. "Yeah, I'm just looking around," I said casually. She stood there for a moment, scanning me from head to toe. I could feel it, the silent judgment, the assumption that I didn't belong. I wasn't dressed fancy, just an old dark brown hoodie and black sneakers, but somehow she had already decided what kind of customer I was. "Let me know if you need anything," she said, her voice tight. Then, without another word, she walked away. I watched as she turned the corner. The moment she thought I wasn't looking, her posture relaxed. Near the registers, a small group of employees stood together, laughing and chatting. One of them glanced at me, then nudged Eleanor and whispered something. They both smirked. My stomach tightened. I didn't hear what was said, but I could guess. I kept moving through the store, paying close attention to everything around me. It was busy. Customers walking through aisles, some pushing carts, others just browsing. I noticed something troubling. Some staff members greeted certain customers with wide smiles and cheerful voices. But when it came to people like me, they barely nodded, if they acknowledged them at all. In the electronics section, I overheard two employees talking near the stockroom door. Their name tags read Neil and Logan. They spoke in low voices, but I was close enough to catch bits and pieces. "Did you see that guy in the old hoodie?" One of them snickered. "Yeah," the other replied. "He's just here to waste time. People like that never buy anything." I froze. My heart sank. People like that? Is this how they saw their customers? Is this how they saw me? I clenched my fists in my pockets and took a deep breath. I didn't want them to see my anger. Instead, I walked toward the front of the store. I had seen enough, but I wasn't ready to leave just yet. I wanted to give someone, anyone, a chance to prove me wrong. That's when I noticed an older employee, a woman in her mid-30s, stocking shelves near the entrance. Her name tag read Charlotte. Her movements were steady and efficient, and when she saw me, she gave me a small nod and a warm smile. "Hey there," she said. "Let me know if you need help finding anything." Her tone was genuine, no judgment, no suspicion. For a moment, I felt a flicker of hope. "Thanks," I said, smiling back. I watched her for a while. She treated everyone the same way, with kindness and respect. It was such a contrast from what I had experienced earlier. Not all of my employees had the same attitude, and that mattered, but I couldn't leave without addressing what I had seen and heard. I walked up to the counter where Eleanor and the others still stood. They barely looked up as I approached. "Excuse me," I said, my voice steady but firm. Eleanor finally looked at me, her expression neutral. "Yes?" I reached into my pocket and pulled out my wallet. Inside was my company ID, clearly showing my name and title. I placed it on the counter and watched as Eleanor's face turned pale with shock and disbelief. "Hi," I said, keeping my eyes steady. "I'm the owner of this store." The silence that followed was intense. The employees looked at each other, their eyes wide with shock and panic. "I came here today to see how customers are treated," I continued, "and what I've seen is disappointing, to say the least." Eleanor opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out. "There's one person here who treated me with respect," I said, glancing at Charlotte. "But the rest of you?" "You judged," whispered insults, "and treated customers like they don't belong just because of their appearance and race. That's not the kind of business I run, and it's not the kind of behavior I accept." I could see the shame on their faces. Eleanor stammered an apology, but I raised my hand to stop her. "Apologies are a start," I said, "but actions matter more. This isn't just about me. It's about every customer who walks through these doors. They deserve better, and from now on, they're going to get it." After the confrontation, I took a deep breath and walked to the back office with the store manager. Charlotte had pointed him out earlier when I asked who was in charge. His name was Mr. Andrew, and he looked nervous when I introduced myself. He had clearly heard what had just happened at the counter. We sat down in his small, cluttered office, and I got straight to the point. "Mr. Andrew," I began, "what I experienced today was unacceptable. Customer service isn't just about handling transactions. It's about respect, kindness, and making sure every person feels valued, no matter their race or appearance. That's not what I saw from most of your team." He nodded quickly, apologizing over and over. "I'm so sorry, sir. I had no idea this was happening." I raised my hand, stopping him gently. "I'm not here for excuses. I'm here for solutions. You have some good employees, Charlotte, for example. She was the only one who made me feel welcome. But the others need to understand that how they treat customers affects this entire company, and ultimately, me." We spent 47 minutes coming up with a plan. I told him I wanted every employee to go through customer service training again, focusing on unconscious bias and professionalism. I also insisted on regular mystery shopper evaluations to make sure the staff stayed consistent. "I'll cover the cost of the training," I said, leaning forward. "But I expect results. If anyone can't meet the standards, they don't belong here. This store and every store in my chain needs to be a place where every customer feels respected, no matter who they are or what they're wearing." When I walked out of the office, I saw Charlotte at the register, helping an older man struggling with his bags. She smiled warmly, offering to walk him to his car. Watching her reminded me why people like her were the heart of this company. I waited until she came back inside and walked over to her. "Charlotte," I said, "I just wanted to thank you. You treated me and every customer with respect, kindness, and professionalism. That's exactly what I want to see in all of my stores." She looked surprised but grateful. "Thank you, sir. I just try to do my job the right way." "Well," I said, smiling, "you're doing it better than most and people notice. I'm going to make sure you're recognized for it." Her eyes lit up and she thanked me again. But this wasn't just about recognition. It was about showing her and the rest of the team that good work never goes unnoticed. Before leaving, I gathered the entire staff for a quick meeting. I didn't want the manager to pass my message along secondhand. I wanted them to hear it from me. Standing in front of the group, I said, "I came here today to see how things were going, and what I saw was disappointing. But I also saw potential. This isn't about blaming anyone. It's about doing better. From now on, things will change. Every customer deserves respect, no matter who they are or what they look like. If that's not something you're willing to do, then this isn't the place for you." I saw discomfort on some faces, but I also saw determination. That gave me hope. Over the next few days, I checked in with Mr. Andrew to see how the training was going. I even visited a few other stores in disguise to make sure the lessons were being put into action. Slowly, I started to see a change, not just in how customers were treated, but in how employees treated each other. And Charlotte? She didn't just get recognized, she got promoted. I made her the lead trainer for customer service across the region, knowing her example would inspire others to do better. As I walked out of that store for the last time, I felt proud. This experience had been tough, but it was a wake up call. My business wasn't just about money or growth, it was about people. And as long as I was in charge, I would never let anyone forget that. If you enjoyed this story, share it with your family and friends. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more stories like this.